healthcare and aging expert Anthony Cirillo is here. He's the author of Who Moved My Dentures? Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, where do we start with this? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Where is it? The benefits for seniors when they're having sex or when they have a good sex life?
I think we should rename the segment 50+ Shades of Grey to start. I'm sorry. I had to get that in.
That's a good one.
So actually it's a health issue. Now this is where it gets, oh my God, you're not going to really say this, but nursing homes.
Talk to me.
Okay, 250 residents in a Texas nursing home were interviewed, and 8% had sexual relations the month before. Journal of Clinical Geriatrics, 90% of nursing home residents that they interviewed had sexual fantasies. Now we laugh, and believe me, at Rotary this morning when I said I was going to cover this topic, I got skewered. But this is important. I mean, these are relationships. It's just, they're people. They're just older. The main thing you want to be really concerned about is their physical health and ability to actually
do the deed.
Exactly.
Do the deed.
I'm glad you finished. I'm glad you finished the sentence.
What if your loved one is not really into technology?
Yes. Well, good time for a resolution.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting because right now, again, with my mother-in-law here, my wife actually gave her first computer lesson this weekend. So that was kind of interesting. That was yesterday. And my mom has an iPad. She's 93 years old. She's on Facebook. So if you want to find Philomena Russo Cirillo, go find her on Facebook. Imagine, the dog comes out of the lake or the pool and they shake their body, shedding the stress. I saw the actor Mark Ruffalo in an interview, and he was, it's a tragic situation. His brother was killed in a homicide. It was never solved. And they said, how do you live with that stress? And he says, you don't live with it, you live alongside it. They found that moderate drinking is actually more healthy than not drinking at all. And if you drink with friends, it's even better. So they're a great holiday message. Drink with friends in moderation.
I like the way you think.
It is the holidays, and you do want to enjoy the holidays, so you don't want to cause a lot of controversy, but you do want to pay attention and notice and be able to just start a conversation around maybe if these are becoming issues.
We'd rather not think about it. We're sort of in denial about it. You say that is not the right answer.
Exactly, because how we live our lives today basically is going to impact how we age, how we take care of ourselves physically, whether or not we save today for aging tomorrow, even what we can learn from our older adults today about resilience and living your life. It's all going to play a part. And there's so much misconceptions about aging, from how it's paid for to who's going to take care of you. And if you don't find out earlier, you can't prepare. And if that car represents freedom to them, then maybe you have solutions in place to talk about spur-of-the-moment events that we can do together. Or if it's about status, park the car in the driveway or by the curb, and they still own it, and the home health aide or the family member can actually get in it and drive it for somebody, and they still have a sense of ownership. We actually did that with my mom in Florida.
Actually, that sounds like a really good way to ease the transition. They still have their car, but now they're being chauffeured.
There's another one called Unfrazzle. This is pretty new. It's a guy named Rajiv Mehta. He's a former NASA scientist. This one's really good because it does help caregivers take better care of themselves, because you actually keep a journal of your own health while you're taking care of somebody else's health as well. Okay. So that really keeps you honest, because caregiver health deteriorates in some caregivers, as my sister, pre-deceased. They're the one they're taking care of, and that happens more than you think. It's not healthcare reform, it's access for more people into the system. And you have a system that's already overburdened. So what I see happening is that if everybody cooperates, says, yes, I'll buy my insurance, I think the system is going to get overwhelmed. So I think the healthcare experience, when the floodgates open, is going to be something that has to be looked at. How much do you feel that people actually may just refuse to reform in terms of not buying the product, the employers not participating? And how much has that upset the apple cart of all of this working?
Well, that's a very important question, and therein lies one of our concerns.
We talked a little bit about medical tourism and this idea of people going overseas for health care. You have an initiative with that, and I'd love to hear more about it.
We think we're one of the leaders in the United States on this. We've actually set up a separate company, Companion Global Health Services.
And how has this helped your life and your thoughts for the future, personally?
Well, I just think it tells a lot about just what you should be looking at, when you're growing older, that life continues, and you should continue to socialize and make friends, and you should always continue to have lifelong learning and be involved in things, because it keeps you alive, and that's what these people are doing in these facilities. So I think there's lots of lessons for us, too.
And you're helping them do that. Anthony Cirillo, thank you so much.